Welcome to the New Africa, the channel that's changing how the world sees Africa. From groundbreaking mega projects to untold success stories, from vibrant cultures to bold innovations, this is the Africa they don't show you on the news. The New Africa, in changing the narration. Subscribe and be part of the movement rewriting Africa's story, with pride, power, and purpose.
They told the world a story, but it wasn't ours. They said the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam would steal water. They said war was the only outcome. They said Donald Trump stopped that war and deserved a Nobel Prize. They lied. Today we expose every falsehood, one by one. From the funding lie to the water flow myth to the reckless bomb threat, the truth must be told. And it won't be told by the West. It won't be told by the media. It will be told by Africans, for the world to hear. Because this isn't just about a dam. It's about sovereignty, dignity, and a continent refusing to be silenced. This is our truth. And this time, no one speaks for Africa but Africa. Donald Trump wanted a Nobel Peace Prize, not for peace, but for pride. In 2020, as Ethiopia, Egypt, and Sudan negotiated the GERD, Trump inserted himself, not as a neutral partner, but a man hungry for praise. He claimed he brought peace. He claimed he deserved the credit. But behind closed doors, he was doing something else, taking sides, undermining African leadership. And when Ethiopia refused to cave, Trump didn't seek peace. He cut US aid. He applied pressure. He made it political. Peace was not his goal. Glory was. You don't win the Nobel by forcing Africa into submission. Trump suggested America funded the GERD. That was a lie, a bold one. Ethiopia built the GERD through the sacrifices of its own people. No World Bank, no IMF, no foreign donors. Teachers, farmers, children, Ethiopians from all walks of life contributed their earnings. Bonds were bought, wages were given. This was a people's project. Trump had nothing to do with its construction, but he wanted to claim it, because African excellence scares those who never expected it. This dam was built by Africa, not funded by America. Trump claimed Ethiopia was cutting off the water. That's false. That's dangerous. That's propaganda. Ethiopia never intended to stop the Nile from flowing to Egypt. The GERD is a hydroelectric dam, not an irrigation dam. It generates power, not control. It stores water temporarily to regulate flow, not to block it. Every African water expert knows this. But Trump, and the voices backing him, chose lies over science. Why? Because the truth gives Ethiopia power, and a powerful Africa threatens old hierarchies. Water flows, so does truth, and no lie can stop either. On October 23, 2020, in front of the world, Donald Trump said,
"Because Egypt is not going to be able to live that way, and they'll end up blowing up the dam," and I said it, and I say it loud and clear, they'll blow up that dam.
A sitting US president openly suggested military action against an African nation. That's not diplomacy, that's not leadership, that's a threat. He wasn't calming tensions, he was escalating them. He endangered peace, he justified violence. All to look like a savior in a conflict he helped inflame. If Egypt had acted on his words, a war could have followed. Trump's rhetoric wasn't peacekeeping, it was warmongering. Peace can't be built on bombs or bomb threats. The Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam is not a weapon, it's a miracle. It brings electricity to over 60 million people. It powers schools, hospitals, cities, dreams. It's a symbol of African innovation. Designed by Ethiopians, built by Ethiopians, funded by Ethiopians. No colonizer approved it, no empire supported it. This dam is the sound of Africa rising. And no outsider gets to rewrite that story. The GERD is more than a dam. It's a declaration. The world was told lies. Lies that Ethiopia was dangerous. Lies that the dam would bring war. Lies that only outsiders could solve African issues. But the truth? Ethiopia followed international law. It participated in every negotiation. It stood strong under global pressure. And today the GERD stands. Full, proud, and alive. Not because of Trump, not because of any global superpower, but because of Africa's will. Let the world hear it clearly. Africa is not a problem to fix, but a force to respect. Trump tried to insert himself into a conflict he barely understood. He made reckless threats. He backed Egypt without neutrality. He lied about funding. He distorted the science. And he did it all for a Nobel Peace Prize. But peace is not built on ego. The Nobel is not a trophy for manipulation. It's an honor for those who bring light to the world. Trump tried to hijack a narrative that belongs to Africa, and history will remember that. You don't deserve the Nobel Prize for standing in the way of African progress. They told the world a story where Africa was reckless, where Ethiopia was a threat, where a peaceful dam was turned into a weapon in the eyes of the powerful. Donald Trump stood before cameras and claimed he would mediate. But what did he really do? He lied. He told the world that Ethiopia would drain the Nile. False. GERD doesn't block the water. It manages it. He claimed Egypt might have to blow up the dam. Dangerous. That's not diplomacy, that's incitement. He said he helped fund the dam. Another lie. No Western nation built GERD. It was funded by Ethiopians, brick by brick, burr by burr. These weren't just lies. They were attempts to rewrite history before it was even written. To make Africa's greatest achievement look like someone else's gift, when it was our victory all along. Trump wanted a Nobel Prize. But Nobel is not for those who shout. It's for those who build peace, not tension. And Africa's progress is not his campaign prop. Africa is not waiting to be saved. We're saving ourselves. And we'll write our own stories, not with permission, but with power. This is the new Africa, and the world will listen, because we are no longer asking to be heard. If you are African, if you are a truth seeker, don't let this lie become our legacy. Like it, share it, speak it, expose the falsehoods, amplify the truth. Subscribe to the new Africa, where truth has a voice and Africa holds the mic.